Trying to find good anime in this day and age is like working out for more than 1 hour. Exactly, it's way too hard. While countless series are still being added from the future and passed into your watch list, none of which you remember about anymore, you're still in the middle trying to pick the potential gems that won't waste your time. Well, I am here to ease that burden by watching almost every anime in summer of 2023 so that you only get to watch the good stuff even though I have seen the absolute worst. If that joke didn't land properly, then it's entirely on me. So get your cold beverages and turn that air conditioner up and get nice and cozy because it's gonna be a long video. Also, this video will be divided into two sections. One for sequels and the other one for new adaptations, so feel free to skip around if you don't want to waste too much of your time. Catching up with Mushoku Tensei has been one of my favorite things to do in my spare time. The world and the story are super breathtaking, and even though most of the story progression is quick and to the point, it doesn't seem like any of the plot points are being rushed. The fights are extremely well animated, the aesthetic of the series is like that of a sketchbook, and the music. I used to think the music was alright, but holy shit, I was wrong. There is a lot of variety to pick from. You have traditional festival music, and then you have this gorgeous piano track that can move the audience to tears, and the opening, oh my goodness. The more I watch this anime, the more I appreciate its existence because I know for a fact that no isekai series is going to top this one for the next 10 years minimum. And this is coming from a person who really hates this good for nothing genre. Back when season 1 of Eminence in Shadow was airing in fall 2022, I was way too busy trying to wrap my head around how many hours I will be sleeping and how many hours I will be watching shows that I was going to talk about in this video. I also ignored the existence of this show in general until I realized how unapologetically insane it actually is. Here is what you need to know. The main character is overpowered, he acts like this one NPC that no one gives a shit about, also he can do shit like this. Most of the fun in this show lies past the point of the generic fantasy plot that creators think you still give a shit about. The plot progression completely relies on the main character's random explanations, and trust me when I say it's really fun to follow all of it. It does have the same campiness like a lot of battle fantasy stories do, but the focus is more on the nonsensical side of the story, which is great for my monkey brain. So I would strongly recommend this show, but if you are still not gonna watch it, then well, we got other animes to talk about. JJK is back with its long-awaited season 2, and I have a confession to make. I actually like Jujutsu Kaisen more than Chainsaw Man. Please don't call the cops on me. The fans of the manga have been hyping the absolute living shit out of this season because of the Shibuya incident arc, which I am definitely looking forward to, but I wouldn't mind if this hidden inventory premature death arc went for a while longer. I am personally very interested in the dynamics of the characters, and I also want some more screen time for a few side characters that I really like. It's also becoming more evident that MAPPA has been using less CGI this season compared to their previous projects, which has been giving a rough aesthetic to the fights, which appeals to me. If you enjoyed season 1 of JJK, may God help you if you didn't, then you should definitely watch season 2 as it is showing promise to be stronger than the first one. It would have been better if the original Horimiya anime... No, not that one. Yeah, it would have been better to see this one being longer with the content that is in the new season. Nevertheless, I have been really enjoying the new season even though it is not having any storyline and is mostly just high school shenanigans. I actually think they're doing a much better job at adapting this new season because the animation is consistent just like season 1. The music really stands out in my opinion, and the pacing feels much slower, although I already pointed out that it does not have much of a story. At the time of writing the script, 6 episodes are out, so you can breeze through the first half of the season easily. Now this is what I was waiting to talk about. Link Click is finally back with the new season, and god have I missed this show so much. It was my favorite anime from 2021, and it was almost unanimous among the anime community that it was indeed one of the best shows to come out that year. Season 1 left the audience with the major twist and cliffhanger that has been the clear focus for the sequel. The show does have the same episodic vibe going on where they build the narrative in small bits before joining the dots together. It is also super cool to see the characters from previous season make reappearances, and knowing that they haven't been completely discarded personally makes me a really happy boy. The story is much more of a high stakes, high rewards type now, which makes the whole series extremely thrilling and enjoyable. Just in case you don't know, the series is actually made in China, so the Japanese dub isn't out yet, but much like season 1, it will be available once the season ends. However, if the Chinese version doesn't bother you, then you should definitely give the series a chance. Now for the new adaptations, because God knows we are not watching these awful shows. Horror in anime is no easy feat. While there are shows that can be very disturbing or spine-tingling, I don't exactly consider them scary. Dark Gathering is at least starting from the idea of being disturbing, but it will take a while to find out if the series really turns out to be scary or not. Here is what you need to know about the show. Keitaro is a college freshman with the same character design that I have seen many times before. The interesting part is that he hates ghosts but has a unique attribute for attracting spirits. Due to a very unfortunate accident, he decided to shut himself, which eventually led to him having very poor social skills. So 2 years later, while going under rehabilitation, he picks up a part-time job as a tutor to his childhood friend's cousin. Enter Yayoi Huzuki, a very adorable goober who can attract ghosts just like Keitaro. The series is kind of a mixed bag at the moment, where Keitaro is trying to stay away from spirits and Yayoi keeps dragging him around the dangerous spirits, but if you look a little closely, then you can notice that something about these characters in this show is a bit off. But don't look too closely, because the art of the show isn't the most pleasing. The studio clearly cut a few corners here and there, so I would say it is much more important to keep a good track of the story and concepts and don't look out too much for some crazy animation. Until they decide to drop that in. The show will be having 25 episodes, so it will take some time before any final verdict comes out. Next up, soap opera. I absolutely hate, and I mean hate, these good-for-nothing shows where they assemble a cast and give them the most brain-dead characters imaginable. I f***ing hate it when the characters are too nice to say anything back to the biggest piece of shit people just so the plot could drag on forever and then end in the most lazy, bullshit and nonsensical fashion to give some dharma lesson at the end of it. I think we should get all these stupid shows together and bury them 6 feet deep under the basement of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Except for this one. The plot of My Happy Marriage is something I have seen many times before on television, but not in anime format, which is why I think I might have to describe it a bit vaguely. The Saimori family has 2 daughters, Mio and Kaya. Mio is the older sister but was the child of the father's first marriage that he was unhappy of. So when the father brought in his lover and had Kaya, Mio's reputation was reduced to being a mere servant. Mio lives a terrible life and the family isn't planning on improving her situation when they decide that she will be marrying Kodo Kyoka, a military officer who has driven away each of his previous fiancés away due to his cruel nature. But no one knows that Kodo Kyoka is an absolute Giga Chad who will protect his loved ones with all his power. Kudo is that one person that you need to have somewhere in stories like these because he drastically improves the writing of the story and characters with his presence. Raising the stakes become much more interesting because the consequences of getting caught by scheming little things to ruin someone else's life can be very harsh. So far I have watched 5 episodes of this show and goddamn, the production of this anime is breathtaking. The music has such a soft ambience and peaceful tone. The animation is super fluid, and the colors breathe the world of this anime to life. I did leave out specific plot points from the show because the anime itself is more about show, don't tell, and I don't want to be the dickhead who ruins it for everyone. The series is licensed and available on Netflix, so just keep your expectations high when watching this one. And you need to know one more thing. It is being made by Kinema Citrus. The great rule of anime production is that you must animate the earliest episodes of the show on the highest level.
You can't afford to make clunky as garbage and expect people to think that you are doing something innovative and unique when the final product looks like my big toe. Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead is a show that the committee members looked at and said, wouldn't it be kind of crazy if we made every episode as if it was the first one? And it worked. I had very low expectations from Bucket List of the Dead, and when I say low, I mean almost to the level of me hoping Joe Biden will find the bathroom in the White House someday. Zom 100 has a pretty basic premise about zombie apocalypse that people are trying to survive. For me, what sealed the deal here are the characters with interesting personalities and objectives. The main character, Akira Tendo, has his passion stamped out of him, and the apocalypse has provided him with freedom to live however the hell he pleases. In the process, he also makes a list of things he wishes to do before he potentially becomes a zombie. There is also a female character, Shizuka, who is more interested in survival and has made a list of things she must avoid before potentially turning into a zombie. I really like how a lot of these characters are aware that their luck could run out at any given moment. A lot of their interactions are interesting despite having certain campiness that you find in average animes. It's also important for me to mention that this show is absolutely hilarious at times.
Damn it! Then what the hell do we do? If anyone's out there, please help!
Now there are more shows as well, but I feel like they're divided into two sections. Some of them are already extremely popular, while the other have better source material that you should be checking out instead. If this video was helpful in any way, then consider leaving a like and comment even if you don't feel like watching it again from your playlist. My videos get better reach this way, and if you are really interested in me talking about more anime, manga or video games, then consider subscribing. See you guys again next time. Bye.